impegno che l'Unione Africana ci ha sempre garantito in questi anni. 2 anni fa, quando ho avuto l'onore di ospitarvi a Roma, abbiamo assunto un impegno molto ambizioso,
took a commitment, a very challenging
e
one,
cioè scrivere una pagina
that is to
nuova
say,
nella
to
storia
write a
delle
new
nostre
page
relazioni,
of the history of
costruire un
our
modello
relations
completamente diverso
by
di
building a completely
cooperazione
different model of
fondato sulla fiducia e sul
trust
rispetto
and
reciproco.
on mutual
Una cooperazione da pari a pari,
cooperation.
lontana da qualsiasi tentazione predatoria, ma anche dall'approccio paternalistico che per lungo tempo ha distorto i rapporti tra l'Africa, l'Europa, l'Occidente e ha spesso impedito alle nostre nazioni di comprendere le straordinarie peculiarità, ma soprattutto le straordinarie potenzialità dei popoli africani. Da allora,
Since that
sono stati
summit
anni
that
di
took
lavoro
place 2 years
intenso,
ago, we have worked very hard.
anni nei quali abbiamo dato forma al piano
Over the
Mattei,
past 2 years, we have
lo abbiamo radicato nei nostri sistemi istituzionali, lo abbiamo
rooted in our
fatto
institutional systems.
crescere così tanto che oggi viene riconosciuto non più come un'iniziativa italiana, ma come una strategia di respiro internazionale. E questo è stato possibile grazie alle sinergie strutturate che abbiamo costruito insieme alle principali agenzie delle Nazioni Unite. Ringrazio il segretario, insieme all'Unione Europea, all'Unione Africana, al G7, ai tantissimi partner che condividono la nostra visione, dall'Europa fino al Golfo, passando per la... Così facendo, credere che stiamo contribuendo a rivoluzionare il modo di guardare all'Africa e conseguentemente di agire in Africa. Oggi il piano Mattei è una realtà operativa e strutturata che genera risultati tangibili per i nostri popoli, che può contare su un'architettura finanziaria
and innovative, which is the result of the precious cooperation we have established with the World Bank, the Bank institutions operating internationally. Over the past 2 years, we have launched and completed concrete projects of great social impact. We have invested billions of euros in terms of public and private resources, and we have done it by adopting a method engaging the best energies of the Italian people in a teamwork that is enhancing the whole system. Italy is present here with many representatives, and I would like to thank them all, businesses, universities, world of cooperation and research. So a heritage of best practices that have worked in a coordinated manner to pursue a common goal. And this goal is not that of putting in place a mere package of projects, but actually to build a pact between free nations, you and us, that choose to work together because they trust each other and they are looking for cooperation areas where they can stand out and make the difference with a view to sharing common benefits. It is a method that is proposing concrete solutions, that is generating benefits that can be easily verified, especially from a strategic standpoint for our common growth. I'm thinking of energy, where we have chosen to focus on interconnection between the two shores of the Mediterranean and to focus on renewables and biofuels, respecting the principle of technological neutrality, which is key for a green transition that is sustainable but also compatible with our economic and production systems. We were able to build a new public-private paradigm. That's another pillar of our cooperation. And then food security by supporting local businesses, generating quality employment, but also supporting technology innovation and access to water. We have reinforced cooperation in physical and digital infrastructure in different regions of Africa, because without connections, there's simply no such a thing as growth, and there can't be integration with the global markets. We have cooperated in the healthcare sector to make the systems stronger and more accessible. We have worked on industry, employment and development of the private sector with a special focus on young people. Because clearly, every project that belongs to the Mattei Plan has something in common, so a focus on education and training. Because our goal is not that of creating new dependencies, but to support the protagonism of the African peoples and help them be redeemed. And this is possible only if we place more value on the human capital. And this has to be done since the very first years of schooling. That is why, along with Nigeria and the partnership with the Global Partnership for Education, we've mounted a campaign to raise $5 billion and improve the quality of education for 750 million children in more than 91 countries. And I will be happy to co-chair in June a summit with President Tinubu. So this is our approach, because the challenge of a totally new cooperation, which we are rising up to, is above all based on the ability that Africa has to live off its wealth, thereby processing their raw materials without letting them be taken from others, by growing their land, by growing crops on their land. We're not interested in exploiting migration to have low-cost labor to use in our industry. We want to fight against the deep causes that are pushing too many young people to flee their countries of origin, where they were born and raised, that prevents them from contributing to the development of their own countries. It is a choice of responsibility, of a shared responsibility, and not a short-term compromise. And we did that not because we want to sound arrogant, as it happened in the past, by imposing things from the top. We want to build things together. We want to find solutions together with humbleness and with respect. And not, despite all this, the goal of this summit is not to celebrate what we have done so far, but it is that of thinking together about what we can still do to make the Mattei Plan be even more efficient, more pragmatic, and more consistent with the needs of the countries involved. Because if there's one thing that we've learned over the past few years, is that the success of this initiative depends on our ability to keep listening, our ability to be ready to, fine-tune our approach by learning from our mistakes, drawing inspiration from African wisdom. No track can be drawn without meeting stones on our path, but it's thanks to that stones and that rocks that we can walk and that we can move forward. We want to continue in this direction, being aware that the results that we have achieved are not, the end point, but are seeds that have been sown to have a richer and more thriving crop. So if we can stick to this approach, and I'm sure that we will contribute all together in our own roles to make the lesson that we have learned from a giant of our time, John Paul II. We are all truly responsible for everyone. So this is our approach. This is the epitome of what is moving us. And this is what we want to keep doing. So thank you everyone for what we have built together over the past few years. But thank you also for attending today to show that we still want to continue to work together. Thank you. I'll hand the floor over to the Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed Ali. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President João Lorenzo, Chairperson of the African Union, Your Excellency Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of the Republic of Italy, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, representatives from multilateral institutions like World Bank, Africa Development, our older brother, Thabo Mbeki, and dear friends. I am deeply honored to welcome you to Egypt for the second ItalyAfrica Summit. This gathering marks a pivotal moment in Africa-Europe relations, a moment to move from dialogue to action and to turn ideas into clear outcomes for our people. Italy has articulated a forward-looking vision to serve as the bridge between Europe and Africa. Through the Mate Plan, energy security, sustainable development, migration management, and human capital are integrated into a unified strategy based on partnership and mutual benefit. Ethiopia is proud to be part of this vision. Our participation in the first Italy-Africa Summit in 2024 and our continued engagement since reflects a shared commitment to move beyond words. As we host this summit in Addis Ababa, we reaffirm our readiness to work with Italy, with our African brothers and sisters, and with all partners committed to turning strategic dialogue into development outcomes that improve lives. Ethiopia is increasingly connecting Africa to the world. As the continent's diplomatic capital, a growing hub for aviation and logistics, and host of major global conferences, we are linking regions, markets, and ideas, raising Africa's voice in global affairs. Excellencies, our greatest asset is our people. Africa is young, ambitious, ready to innovate and lead. By investing in youth and skills, we can create jobs, unlock talent, and address today's challenges while preparing for tomorrow's opportunities. Technology, particularly artificial intelligence, is central to this future. Digital transformation and emerging technologies modernize energy infrastructure, improve food systems, enhance health, and enable trade, while delivering people-centered public services. By combining Africa's energetic and creative population with Europe's experience, technology, and capital, we can build solutions that deliver prosperity to our continents and beyond. The Mate Plan aligns closely with Ethiopia's priorities. It complements our homegrown economic reform agenda across renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, infrastructure, digital transformation, and human capital development. From major hydropower initiatives and expanding regional interconnections to rail, aviation, and the creation of innovation hubs, Ethiopia is laying the foundation for sustainable development and shared values across Africa. Excellencies, the Italy-Africa partnerships shows the cooperation can remain balanced and future-focused. It shows that addressing migration, advancing climate action, unlocking Africa's potential, and investing in youth and technology must advance together. Ethiopia is fully committed to turning words into action, ensuring tangible benefits for our people. In closing, I reaffirm Ethiopia's resolve to deepen strategic cooperation with Italy and across Africa. Together, we can shape a new Africa-Europe relationship, not based on dependency, but dignity, not on extraction, but shared prosperity, not on the past, but on a future we build together. Let's move forward with determination to build the Africa and Europe we all aspire to see. I thank you, and once again, I welcome you to Ethiopia, the land of origin.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Now, I give the word.